Today I'm going to show you how to do a project I call Colorized Black and White. We're going to take this beautiful full color image, turn it to black and white, and then bring back parts of it in color. First of all, as always, I'm going to check the levels and see if they need any adjustment. So here in the adjustment panels on the top row, the second button over is the levels. I'll click that and we can see that the line is flat on the black side, so I'm going to bring the black slider in to the beginning of the graph, and the white slide, there is information, so I'm going to leave that one just the way it is. There are two different ways to get to the adjustments panel. Another way to get to the adjustments panel is to click this half white, half black button down here at the bottom. This is the icon for the adjustments. So on this one, I already selected levels, we just finished that. Now I'm going to select black and white. That brings up these options here. I can move these sliders around to adjust the range of blacks and whites in the photos. So this image is mostly purple and green, so the ones that are going to have the most effect is the magenta slider and the green slider. So if I move the green slider around, you can see that the background is changing. And you can move that until you like the way that your image looks, and then I'll move around the magenta slider, and I think that looks pretty good right there, so I'm going to stop. Next, I'm going to switch to the eraser tool. The eraser tool is right here. I'll go ahead and click that, and you'll notice that my options across the top changed according to the tool that I have selected. I'm going to go ahead and pop open the brush size menu and check to make sure that the hardness slider right here is set on 0, which means that this will be a soft edged brush, which is better for erasing. Then I'm going to choose the size. I'll go with 100 right now and see if that's going to be a good size. So click 100 and then I'm going to hit the enter key to make that menu go away. So when I hold the cursor over the image, I can see that 100 is a little bit too small. So on the keyboard next to the P key are brackets. The right bracket makes the brush larger, and the left bracket makes it smaller. So I'm going to hit the right bracket, and that brush size looks good right there. So I'm going to start clicking and erasing where I want the purple to show. And I can use the big brush to do large areas, but then when I need to do smaller areas, I'm going to use the bracket keys, the left bracket, to make the brush a little smaller so I can get into these smaller areas and just erase the part where it's purple. And I'm going to erase down the stem. And it's a pretty interesting effect. Now, I can see that there's a few areas where I accidentally erased a little bit too much, so I'm going to go ahead and fix those areas, touch them up a little bit. So I'm going to take the zoom tool, the magnifying glass, and I'm going to draw a box around an area that I can see it needs to be cleaned up. I erased a little bit too much. So to fix that, I'm going to select the brush tool and make sure that the color down here at the bottom is set to white, the default colors. If it's not set to white, just click this little tiny black and white boxes here and it will automatically set it back to black and white. White needs to be on the top, and I'll take my brush tool and very carefully go in and fix where I over erased. And what's happening, if you look over here in the layers panel, it says black and white adjustment layer. You can see that there's a white box and there's this black outline of the iris inside of it. So this is a mask, and I erased through that so that I could have the iris be in color. So what I'm doing is re-paint brushing the white part back, and that makes it return back to black and white. So by holding down the space bar, my brush tool will temporarily turn into the hand, and I can use the hand to quickly scroll around the image and look for any places where I accidentally over erased through the black adjustment layer, and I can go ahead and fix that. So it looks like I erased a little bit too much right here and right here. Okay, looks pretty good. Now, maybe a little bit right here. So I'm going to push Control-0. That will make the whole image fit back on the screen. And I am now finished. So I'm going to go to File, Save As, and I'm going to leave it named Colorized Justine with my name on it, and it's a Photoshop document, a .psd, because it has layers. So I'll go ahead and save that. And I already have a file called Colorized Justine PSD, so I'm just going to click to replace it and copy over the top of it. Now, if you want this on the internet or you want this in a PowerPoint presentation, those do not accept PSDs. They only accept JPEGs. So I'm going to save another copy of this. So File, Save As, and this time I'm going to leave the title the same, but I'm going to change this to be JPEG. And I'm going to call it Colorized JPEG, the same name, and click Save. And JPEG options for the quality, I'm going to go ahead and put it on 6 because I know I'm going to put this on the internet and I don't want it to be huge. I want it just to be kind of medium. So I'm going to click OK. So now I have one of these saved as a PSD, which has all the layers in it, and I have one of them saved as a JPEG, which doesn't have the layers in it, but I can put that in a PowerPoint and I can put it on the internet. That's it for now.